Welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. We got stuff together, the chaos behind the scenes, but we are here. We are here with Anthony and Neil. Diverse People United are here. They got something going on this weekend. This the second one? The second Occupy Wyoma Square?
Yeah.
The second annual Occupy Wyoma Square this Sunday on the 4th of July. How you doing, gentlemen?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for dropping in on us. All right, let's talk about this event, the second annual. I remember last year, big turnout last year.
Awesome turnout.
And Neil, just talk to me. Of how you guys got this first started with this idea.
Yeah, the movement was strong last year because of the reaction to George Floyd's murder. And we were big on demonstrations. Anthony and I were just like solo, walking through neighborhoods, yelling, screaming, talking about, Black Lives Matter, gathering people up. And we figured, what better way to do something that would, really make an impact than on the 4th, a day that we observe freedom and celebrate freedom, but in this country we deny it at the same time to so many people, especially Black and brown lives.
Mm-hmm. And I know, Anthony, the thing with you with this is you wanted to shed light on the history of the 4th of July as far as pertaining to Black and brown people.
All right. What is the it's called Stockholm Syndrome, where the prisoner starts to empathize with their keepers or their caretakers or whatever the case may be. And same thing with slavery, you know what I mean? After generations and generations of mental and physical manipulation, torture, terrorism, there were so many dynamics that fell into this thing. Okay, I read where in the beginning they would take the strongest of the strong. When the slaves wanted to act like they were rebelling, they would take the strongest examples of whatever plantation that they lived in, and they would do something really gruesome to them to intimidate and psychologically terrorize the rest of them. So if you take the strongest out of your group and you like they said, cut the head off the snake and the body dies, same scenario. And like I said, Stockholm Syndrome, we've been celebrating the 4th of July for as long as I've been alive, and that's almost 57 years. And when was the 4th of July ever geared or directed towards us? It wasn't.
Definitely. And now it's such a history lesson for a lot of people just to know that, because as you said, everybody 4th of July, fireworks,
everybody's gearing up, got the pork chops ready, the ribs, everything.
But they don't know about the history of that. And it's also fitting because it's coming in right after a couple weeks after Juneteenth. The whole couple weeks after Juneteenth is still a celebration now. What do you guys have in line for this year's event? Speakers or any special things happening with this event this year?
Well, for the most part, we have a couple of returns, people that were very powerful as far as their deliverance. One young man, he's really proficient in like spoken word. He's a beast.
Yeah, Harlem 125.
Oh yeah, he was there last year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember him.
Yeah.
I'm debating on whether or not I want to read what is the 4th of July to the Black man again, or let somebody else take that over. You know what I mean? Just because, first and foremost, as a part of our organization, there's nobody bigger than the other person. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm honestly thinking about letting somebody else read that excerpt from the thing, because whoever delivers it, their style is theirs, mine is mine, and however we can get that message across and really let it resonate with the audience and people that are paying attention to what we're doing, my delivery.
Yeah, well, so we also have Raymond Gaines, who spent over 40 years incarcerated, and right now was just released after some discrepancies in his case. There was some misconduct from previous cases, misconduct from investigators on previous cases. They're reviewing that, so he's going to be there, talk about his experiences. We also have Reverend Bennett, who's always, just dropping fire on people.
Powerhouse.
A young woman, Awa Tabayi, from Solidarity North Shore. Very powerful, only 17 years old, and always has, something incredible to say, and it's different every time. So we're looking forward to it. We also have more spoken word people, and we're even going to have dancing performance.
Okay. Now, are you guys going to start off from Manning Field just like last year, and then walk over to Wyoma Square?
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. And the thing about last year's event was so interesting as people were marching in the streets. All the cars that were driving by joined in. They didn't get out the car, but they joined in with the people as they walked, which was a pretty good sight to see, because you hear you read on the news, you read articles, or you look on the news, and when you see protests like that happening, see people on the road trying to act reckless and try to run people over and stuff like that. But with last year's, it was more so the people. Everybody was getting involved. People that had nothing to do with it, which was pretty cool.
So a lot of people like to feed into the national narrative. Lynn is not, like last year, people were boarding up Stop and Shop and all the kinds of other, establishments. But, we like to highlight none of our demonstrations have been violent in any capacity. We advocate for emotional, for people to be emotional and because that's a therapeutic experience. People should be expressing themselves. But yeah, we're in Lynn, and Lynn is a very diverse place. People understand that. But what else also is very important, because it's so diverse, people take it for granted. So, Lynn is very diverse, but at the same time don't actually understand, what equity is and all those things. So we want to highlight those concepts with this march as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so many. Being there last year, there was you just see so many people, even people that were on their porches. It was just like a good unifying thing, and the thing was the boarding up of downtown. That was utterly ridiculous, and
Absolutely.
It just shows the people that did that what they thought of folks who wanted to demonstrate.
Absolutely.
But people by nature, in my experience, they're more prone to allow somebody else to step out front and do all of the heavy lifting. And then, as you're driving down the street, you see a movement. Okay, yeah, let's be a part of that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like Neil said, the therapeutic value of what we're doing, allowing people to heal emotionally, psychologically through action, and seeing that there are people like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Because my biggest fear as the COVID restrictions started lifting is losing continuity, losing that energy, that connectedness. Just because Trump's out of office does not mean that, systemic racism has just been done away with. You know what I'm saying? These institutions and these practices have been in place for hundreds of years. They go to school to learn how to mentally, psychologically manipulate scenarios and individuals. So we have to, as an organization and as individuals, stay on point in regards to awareness, events, and just maintaining that energy and that connectedness for the individuals that want to see real systemic change.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Sunday, July 4th, you guys are marching the streets. Tell the people the time of the event.
12 p.m. Sorry. 12 p.m. Sunday, we're meeting at Manning Field. We're going to have some speakers, some performers there. We're going to march to Wyoma Square, hold it down for a little bit, where we'll have more performers, more speakers, and we'll march back to Manning Field.
All right.
Come join us.
Also, what else does Diverse People United have in store for the rest of the summer?
We do have our Youth Rising Summit. This is Neil's project, but we are all obviously engaged and involved in it. And, Diverse People United is generated and motivated by the possibility of helping young people. Because at the end of the day, they are the bodies that we want to see real lives change,
Yeah.
you know, manifest in and through them. So it's our job and responsibility to educate to the utmost that as much and as often as we can. We have financial literacy, political awareness. What else?
Well, we're going to have our podcast where we dialogue with people from different views as well.
Yes.
Didn't you guys just have something passed at a city council meeting? Did you guys have?
Yep. So we're
passed?
part of the LRJC, Lynn Racial Justice Coalition, and we, along with several other social justice organizations, got $500,000 passed in the next fiscal year's budget to begin the implementation of an unarmed crisis response team. So, you know, that is going to be part of fighting for equity and justice, especially in the city.
That's great work right
Yeah.
there. All right, social media, website, all that good stuff. Please plug that in before we get up out of here.
Yeah.
Diverse People United, DPU. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. Are we still Twitter?
No, not so much. We need to expand capacity a little bit for Twitter. We don't have the Twitter fingers yet. Yeah. If I could touch on the Youth Summit, just real quick. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Youth Rising Summit is going to be civic and wholesome oriented. We're talking about, Black history, talking about taking care of the self-identity, and bringing that to the community. And the idea is you can't take care of the community until you can take care of yourself. So we're going to connect people to other nonprofits in the city, get people more engaged.
All right, awesome. Well, continue the great work. Pleasure to have you guys here with us. I'm sure somebody will be there on Sunday to capture the events happening. So Sunday, July 4th, noon, Manning Field, marching to Wyoma Square. If you're not doing nothing, go check them out for a couple hours, and then you could go barbecue afterwards, all right? You guys have been watching the Lynn Lowdown. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No problem.